Have you ever had one of those days, or maybe weekends, where you've got so much being thrown at you and you don't know whether you're going to get through it all? That's the feeling I've got right now. Welcome to Brands Hatch and the BRSCC 54th running of the Formula Ford Festival. It's actually the 50th running here at Brands Hatch. We had the first 4 years at Snetterton back in the day. Like last year's festival, which was a wonderful event if you were with us, the GVK 200 commemorating the anniversary of Gerrit van Kouwen's historic win, and the 200 car won it. We could wax lyrical about that for probably the rest of the day. You'll be glad to know I'm not going to do that. As you can probably see in the background, we've got the pre-82 Formula Ford cars going back. We're going to be seeing those a little bit later on within the festival itself, but also we've got a little bit of focus with the pre-82 cars with the John Webb Memorial this weekend. 2 races sponsored by Jeff Page Engineering. Hopefully we'll be catching up with Jeff himself during the lunch break, which is actually only 1 race away. So those cars doubling up over the course of the weekend. Now, I was saying at the start, we've got such a lot to get through. Are we going to do it? Very much hope that we will. What have we got in store for you? Well, as we said, the 54th running of the festival. It looks as competitive as ever. We've got a really great schedule that's been put together by the team at the BRSCC. Alan Bowles is back looking after us, the man that looks after the Super Classic Championship for the British Racing and Sports Car Club. The entry is stronger than ever. We've got we're very nearly sold out for the 4 heats that we've got, so we've kind of gone back to that very classic feeling of having 4 heats. Then we can go into semi-finals and of course the grand final tomorrow afternoon. In addition to that, we've got the progression races, which will take place first thing tomorrow morning as well. So limited places in the heats to get through. The heats, the qualifying has been slightly different today. We've had short, sharp qualifying, just 10 minutes instead of the normal 15. So not much time for the drivers to get the cars warmed up, get their heads into gear and get a lap down. So that was very, very interesting indeed. I think a clean sweep for the Irish drivers in terms of heat pole position. So Ireland looking good to maybe retain the World Cup that they won last year. We're looking forward to that. What else have we got for you this weekend? The coverage actually is going to go on obviously till the end of the day race-wise, but please join us later on this evening where for the very first time we have streaming of the Q&A session. Back in the day we used to call it the Formula Ford Festival Forum. Very alliterative, quite like that. But we've got a Q&A session which is happening in the Kentagon a little bit later. I think we're hoping to go online around about 6:30 for that, and we've got some surprise guests, some real stars. It's going to be a treat for me, if not you, at home watching, to see what people have got to say and see who we've got in that Q&A a little bit later on. That's Formula Ford. That is obviously the major thing, but everything else is major this weekend as well, because we've got 3 Ford Again related championships, with the Fiesta championships which come to a climax this weekend. The first of which, let's take a walk up. I've got Jeremy on camera with me today, and now he's got to follow me around. I'm not going to make him walk backwards. I'll maybe walk backwards and look at camera. The first group of cars that we've got that are racing today are the ST150s, which is the slightly older car, very competitive championship still. They're in the holding area right now. We've also got the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship. That will come to a climax as well. And the ST240s, the seniors. So we've got the complete ladder of Fiesta. You can just about see the 150s coming into shot now. I've got to negotiate the gate, and I've got to remember the country code, shut the gate afterwards. Who remembers the country code? Do you remember that, Jeremy? He's probably too young to... Oh, he does remember the country code. Let's go in. We'll get Jeremy through, and then I will close the gate. Country code applies to Brands Hatch, and we'll get a look at our ST150s, which are here. And we've got a couple of guest drivers coming in, which is really good. Super field. This championship started off life as the Northwestern Fiestas, XR2s, XR3s, and now moves on to the later Fiestas that you can see here. We're getting waves from the drivers as well. Good to see everybody in the mix there. And Dylan Davis starts on pole position. He is very much in with a shout of the championship. The man that leads the table is the 144 car, which I'm pointing to. You can't see me pointing, but that's George Foxlow. Hasn't qualified too well. Should we go and have a word with George? Is that all right? Let's go and see if we can... stick the microphone in. George is very busy. 3 races today. Are we all right to open the door, or should we do it in the... You're all right to have a quick word? I'm going to open the door. We'll get a better sound. George, leading the championship. Decent lead, but further back than we're used to seeing you.
Yeah, I just had a bit of a bad qualifying, to be honest. The car was going all right yesterday, but today it just didn't seem to go together how I wanted to, really.
Okay, now Andy McEwen, who's up in the commentary box, who we'll talk to a little bit later on, I'm relying on him for the maths, but I'm guessing you and your dad and family and team probably know more about what you need to do in the 2 races.
Yeah, we have a bit of an idea. To be honest, it's really hard to work out until we've done this first race today, and then we'll be able to work it out where we are and what we'll have to do, really.
So probably not wrapping it up in race 1?
No, definitely won't be.
Okay, well, good luck with the race. And you're a busy weekend for you, isn't it? Because you're in the 240s as well. Is it difficult jumping from one car to the other? Because you've had to do that today.
Yeah, I was just out in the 240s doing qualifying, 2 sessions ago. And I haven't actually took my suit off at all or anything. But I've been doing it now for about a year or so I've got a bit used to it, to be fair. In
BRSCC land, we got the shades of the Doble family here, because remember Mikey won the Ginettas and the BMWs in the same year, and a possibility that you're definitely on the podium in both of these ones.
Yeah, hopefully, definitely will be. Hopefully so, and yeah, really hope we can do more than just get on the podium, but you never know.
Nice one, George. Good luck for the race. Thanks for letting us stick a mic in. George Foxlow, their championship leader. Oh, shut the door properly, otherwise you'll get an exclusion. You all right, guys? All right, let's have a go. Should you want a quick word? Let's have a quick word. William Box. Haven't had a word this year. It's the first Fiesta meeting I managed to work on. How are things? What was qualifying like?
Yeah, not too bad. Pace has been quite quick the whole weekend, which is good. It's just the space on track was hard to get a clean lap in.
That's the thing with Brands Indy, isn't it? It's quite tight, so you've got to try and time it well. We were talking about that in terms of the Formula Fords, who only had a 10-minute session as well. Rookie season for you, I think. So talk us through your journey into Fiestas. We've not had the chance to catch up with you over the year. What's the journey been like, and any frustrations and any high points?
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a good year so far. Starting the year, I was near the back of the pack, and now I'm up at the sharp end, which is good. My fastest result, I got 4th at Cadwell Park, which was good.
They've blown the whistle at me, so I've got to go, I'm afraid, but good luck for the race and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
See ya.
So there we go. I'm going to drop back behind the car so I'm not in the way as they pull out. Jeremy is still over there, but we're going to hand over to your commentator for the weekend. That is Andy McEwen. Good luck, Andy, and we're all counting on you for the mathematics.
Well, thank you, Richard. No pressure, hey. But yeah, there is a little bit of maths to be done, I think, when it comes to all things Fiesta-related over the course of the weekend. And the ST150 Championship is rather closer, perhaps, than it first appears. And that's because of the pesky dropped score situation. 3 results for each driver gets dropped at the end of the season, so you don't count your 3 worst scores. And because Dylan Davis, 2nd in the championship, and Sam Watkins, 3rd in the championship, have both had non-finishes, whereas George Foxlow has finished every race, the championship leader, he is dropping significantly more points than the other 2. So on total points, he is about 55 points clear of anybody else, but once he drops his 3 worst scores, that gap shoots right the way down to just 9 points the difference. So 9 points back is Dylan Davis from George Foxlow after drop scores are calculated, and Sam Watkins is only a further 2 points behind him. So it is 11 points essentially that cover the top 3 drivers, and as Richard just documented, the points leader George Foxlow did not have a very good qualifying session. 9th on the grid he will start. The driver who went on this dominant sort of purple patch in the middle of the season, scoring maximum points at Oulton Park with 2 race wins, 2 fastest laps, and a bonus point for pole position. He looked set to do the same again at Cadwell Park when he started on pole position in race 1 and won with the fastest lap. Didn't quite score maximum points in the other 2 races, but did score another 2 race victories. So 5 wins on the bounce in the middle of the season has given George Foxlow this championship lead, which he now needs to try and defend over the final 2 races of the season, both of which will take place today. So we will crown a champion by the end of the day in the ST150s, but as Richard was just discussing with George Foxlow in the holding area, that is likely not going to happen until a little bit later on in the day. Now, where are the other championship contenders on the grid? That's the key question. Well, the nearest rival to George Foxlow is Dylan Davis, 9 points back. Well, he is the red car that just pulled away from pole position. He's going to be starting right at the front of the grid and is in a really good position, I think, to do a bit of damage to that championship lead that George Foxlow has. Sam Watkins, meanwhile, 3rd in the championship. Well, he's actually only 2 places further up the grid than George. He is 7th on the grid in car car number 98. So it really is all down to Dylan Davis, you feel, in that red number 21 to apply the pressure to the championship leader. The grid is as follows then. It is Dylan Davis on pole position with reigning champion, outgoing champion Michael Blackburn starting alongside him. Stephanie Saw with, I think, what might be her best qualifying effort of the season, starts third, with Spencer Lane, according to that grid, alongside Joseph Ming, I think is one of those drivers starting at the back of the grid. Then it will be Sophie Kinghorn and Sam Watkins with William Box and George Foxlow next, Alex Sprague and Robbie Harrison with William Kellett and Daniel Maguire just outside the top 10. Then we have Aidan Vickers alongside Simon Ricketts, row 7, row 8, Neil Marsh and Mark Webb with Luke Jarman, Daniel McCarthy, Dorothea Bano and Liam Turnbull at the back of the field. So Joseph Mink, starting at the back of the grid, had qualified 4th. However, is starting at the back with, I believe, a 10-second delay as well, following a technical disqualification after qualifying. And there's another driver, I think, back there as well, who we need to keep an eye on. So, that blue and yellow car, that is the championship leader, George Foxlow, just disappearing from shot. We definitely need to keep an eye on him in the early stages of this race. He can afford to have a bit of a iffy, to use a technical term, iffy weekend, because he does have these pretty decent drop scores to fall back on. His two lowest scores of the season are 34 and 36 pointers. So, in essence, even if he didn't race this weekend, he would score back the 34 and 36 points, 36 pointers actually, that he would be dropping from earlier in the season. However, you do have to take part in the final round. If you do not enter and take part in the final round of any BRSCC championship, then you can't count that final round as a drop score. He has, of course, taken part by taking part in qualifying. Whilst it wasn't a hugely successful qualifying session for him, he is still going to be there. By the looks of it, he's starting, 8th on the grid. Yes, 8th on the grid outside of that 4th row. The two cars at the back with the 10-second penalty are also near enough in position, I think, and once they are in position, we'll be away and racing for the first time this weekend then. This festival weekend starts not with Formula Fords, but still with racing of the Blue Oval variety, and the Vinyl Detail Fiesta ST150 Championships final event of the season is about to get underway then. The red lights go out, off we go. It is a 15-minute race, and in the first few moments of it, Dylan Davis snatches a small advantage over Michael Blackburn. He had his nose ahead as they arrived at Paddock Hill Bend, has the inside line. Will he have the lead, though, as he comes out of the turn? Well, he will, because Michael Blackburn, I can see out of the window, has been knocked out into the gravel trap. So Dylan Davis runs wide as well, and that opens the door for Stephanie Saw. Stephanie Saw, after that brilliant qualifying effort this morning, leads the race as we exit Druids for the first time. George Foxlow is on the outside of Michael Blackburn there, the two blue cars, and in fact now dives to the inside of another car at Graham Hill Bend and is going for 4th position. I don't think he's quite managed to get ahead of Sam Watkins, remember, who is one of his title contenders, but that has been a really, really strong start for George Foxlow, who is, yes, 5th as they go through Surtees for the first time. So there is Foxlow, big lunge up the inside there from the 83 of Sophie Kinghorn. That didn't quite work out, and Michael Blackburn will hold on to that position, but Michael won't be best pleased, I don't think, with how the race has started. Nor, to be honest, will Dylan Davis, because all of a sudden his two title rivals are right behind him, because that was Sam Watkins moving into 4th place as they crossed the line, and with him, I suspect, will go George Foxlow. Yes, they both dive up the inside of... who was that? That was... the 17 car, was it, that they were overtaking? Yes, it was. 17 on the outside line. Spencer Lane losing some positions. The black and white machine. So now the 3 title contenders are all together. Not in championship standings order. The leader of the championship, George Foxlow, at the back of that trio. First lap, I'm delighted to say. Dry conditions for now this weekend. Bit of rain forecast tomorrow, we believe, but for the ST150s, that won't really matter. They'll have packed up and gone home by then. And one of them will have been provisionally crowned a champion. Up into the final sequence of corners we head then for the second time. Things settling down slightly, but it looks to me as though Michael Blackburn is starting to ask some questions of George Foxlow. The two blue cars pretty close together, and look, dropping away slightly from the leading 3. So Stephanie Saw the leader, with Dylan Davis 2nd, Sam Watkins 3rd, George Foxlow 4th, but George is about 3/4 of a second adrift of his two title rivals at this stage. Out of Paddock Hill Bend they go. Oh, big sideways moment for Sophie Kinghorn, I think that was, the 83 car. And that leaves Sophie under big pressure from William Box, who we heard from in the assembly area, but he gets sort of boxed out there at Druids by the 777 machine of Alex Strange, who gets alongside. The outside line of Graham Hill-Bend. There's no way through. There is a challenge, meanwhile, for the race lead. I just saw as they flashed past the commentary position. There is Dylan Davis, and he's up the inside of Stephanie Saw for the race lead. Stephanie hangs on the outside. That gives her the inside for the right-hander, and Dylan chops back to the inside line because he must keep Sam Watkins behind him. Sam Watkins, remember, is only 2 points behind Dylan Davis coming into this final round. Second and third in the championship they run. But this battling could just invite George Foxlow and Michael Blackburn back to the party, couldn't it? So they've got to be careful about exactly how they go about debating this race lead, the three of them. But Stephanie Saw doing a really, really good job leading the way. I'm reasonably confident in saying that Stephanie has never won a race in this championship before. She's not done a full season this year, has Stephanie. She raced at Mallory Park, at Anglesey, at Cadwell Park and at Silverstone, so she's missed a couple of events. But Stephanie, I'm not even convinced, has had a podium in this championship in the past. We'll hopefully have the chance to catch up with her post-race and ask that question, but she is not driving like somebody who's never won a race before in the ST150 Championship. And in fact, it's a mistake from the second place driver, Dylan Davis, there, which just relieves the pressure slightly from the race leader. And then, oh, in fact, she makes a mistake as well, though. Stephanie Saw runs out wide at Clearways, and that, weirdly, then opens the door for Dylan Davis to go on the attack. So Dylan Davis, who I thought had lost a bit of ground, well, he had lost a bit of ground, suddenly finds the door wide open heading into Paddock Hill Bend, and I think he should be able to complete the manoeuvre and go through. Yes, he does. So Dylan Davis then back to the lead of the race. Stephanie Saw will attempt to get the switch back on corner exit, but the door very much not left open by Dylan. So she goes to the outside line instead. That opens the door for Sam Watkins, though, and here comes Foxlow as well. The championship leaders in this battle now. In fourth position, Stephanie, oh, is she going to be able to hang on to second? She's got the inside line as they drop down the hill, but late on the brakes is Sam Watkins. He turns across the nose of Stephanie's car and does move into second place. That means that Stephanie's a little bit slow off the corner. It stacks George Foxlow up into Michael Blackburn. They're three abreast into Surtees, and it's Foxlow who commits to the manoeuvre and goes through. Fantastic, George Foxlow. That is why he is the championship leader, I suppose. That was a very spirited move up the inside through Surtees' corner, and he's now into a podium place. So now the top three drivers are all together in the championship. They're running 1, 2 and 3, and this is now when things start to get really, really interesting. Dylan Davis then leads the way. The fastest lap, by the way, belongs to Spencer Lane, the black and white car centre of shot. So he is taking the bonus point for the fastest lap. Of course, Dylan Davis did get the bonus point for pole position, though. So at the moment, Dylan Davis on course for 51 championship points. Sam Watkins would take, I believe, 46 championship points. And George Foxlow for third, I reckon, gets 42, doesn't he? So I think as it stands, well, according to my points spreadsheet, as it stands, they would be tied for the championship lead with Dylan Davis and George Foxlow, but we will attempt to get that confirmed. More than likely won't stay this way, of course, but if it does stay this way, we'll attempt to get that confirmed before we go into the second race later on. So, battle on here for fourth position, I believe this is now. Fifth position, excuse me, with Spencer Lane under some real threat from Sophie Kinghorn, who peeks to the inside at Paddock Hill Bend but couldn't quite make the move stick. They head up towards Druids Corner, lights flashing there under braking for the 17 car, which still holds that bonus point for the fastest lap. Into the left-hand at Graham Hill Bend they head. And look at Dylan Davis now starting to stretch away. Now, the one thing he could really do to help his championship quest here is to get that fastest lap away from Spencer Lane. And he's going the right way about it, isn't he? In clean air now, Dylan Davis, I think, could be about to put a really good lap time in. And that bonus point, as tight as it is in this championship, could be really significant. That was a pretty significant inquiry up the inside from Daniel Maguire, trying to gain a position at the expense of Aidan Vickers at Clearways. There is the new fastest lap for Dylan Davis, so he's done it. Dylan Davis then with the fastest lap. Oh, there's problems for the number 8 car, that's Neil Marsh, which is carrying damage, isn't it, to front and back. So I wonder whether he's had contact with the barriers up at Clearways. I think that might be what's happened. Peering out of the window, I can see some suspicious tyre marks heading towards the tyre wall up at that part of the circuit. There is the attempted move, this time on the outside from Daniel Maguire. that going to work? It's a move that does often work, but not until they get to the bottom of the hill at Graham Bend. Then you've got the inside line, and that's exactly how it transpires for Daniel Maguire, who does manage to pick his way through into 11th position, that will be. So as I started to say, Dylan Davis now has the fastest lap of the race. That's worth another championship point. And so Dylan Davis now would be scoring 52 points. By my reckoning, 10 more than George Foxlow. And if that is the case, then George Foxlow's championship lead has evaporated completely. So it's now down to George to try and really bounce back, I suppose, in the second half of the race. We still have just under 7 minutes of the race to go. And he could yet get himself back onto terms with his championship rivals. Big lunge up the inside there for Sophie Kinghorn at Druids Corner. That did not work. She chops back across the nose of William Botts, whose good job is William. Rightly saying he's only done, again, a part-season campaign. In fact, no, sorry, William's been around all year, missed Anglesey, but has done every other round, and again is showing up towards the end of the season now with one of his more competitive showings. Out through Clearway's corner, the midfield scrap goes. What's happening at the front of the field? Well, I reckon George Foxlow is now starting to come into his own, isn't he? Let's compare lap times. Dylan Davis with another new fastest lap, a 57.7. It is a 58.0 for Watkins and a 58.2 for Foxlow. So no, the gap's actually extending out ever so slightly. We've lost Dan McCarthy to the pit lane, by the way. Dan McCarthy's car, in fact, I can see heading out towards the outer paddock where the Fiesta ST150 teams are based. So Dylan Davis, another new fastest lap there, 57.724. Stretches the gaps now in front of the field. Michael Blackburn, in fact, is closer to George Foxlow than George Foxlow is to Sam Watkins still. But the real battle to watch is that one for 5th, isn't it, really? Oh, look at the cars as they skip over the curbs. They'll be flat out, I would imagine, at this point in the race through Surtees in these conditions. Maybe a little confidence lift as you go into the corner just to get the nose settled, but I reckon these cars are pretty much flat out through that turn, over the curbs, sideways, bouncing around. Then you've got to get the car turned right into clearways. It's a really demanding sequence of corners, that. It doesn't look like much, does it, Brands Hatch Indy's circuit, when you look at it on a map, but when you see it in person with the incredible elevation changes, this one, of course, the most famous of those through Paddock Hill Bend, but also some slightly off-cambered corners, some big curbs that you've got to run. It is a remarkably challenging racetrack, is the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. There was a screeching of tyres, I heard then. I suspect it might have had something to do with that car we just saw, Jarman from Rate, going a little bit slowly. So up through Surtees once more, and all of a sudden William Box looks the most likely to make a move in this little group. You can see the novice cross on the back of his car. William, new to racing this year, that's what that novice cross denotes. 16-year-old William Box, a self-taught racer from his sim machine. I was informed last night by William's mother, and apparently got that sim for his 14th birthday, so he's only been sim racing for a couple of years, and now has his real race licence and is going very, very strongly in this final event of the season. Another novice there making a nice move up the inside, and a successful move was made. Upset, it might now change hands again at the bottom of the hill. That's Alex Strange dicing away with the number 19 of Robbie Harrison. It was the orange car of Harrison that made the move and does then hang on to the position again coming out of the corner. So nice little battle there going on for 8th position. That's back towards the pointy end of the field. Looked like Michael Blackburn went quite wide off in the distance. And he's really dropped away now, look, Blackburn, from George Foxlow. So Michael Blackburn's pace is deserting him slightly. Is there going to be another attempted move here from Sophie Kinghorn? No, not into Paddock Hill Bend, but very late on the brakes, look, is Spencer Lane. I thought maybe he was going to miss the apex, but no, got the car into the turn and was able to hold on to that 5th position. Again, the hazard lights tripping with the ABS kicking in as they go into Druids Corner. Something that on the ST150s, I think the teams do have the ability to switch off, but on the newer ST240s, which we'll also see out later on today, those hazard lights must remain on. It's just something that's hardwired into the computer system of the car, so every time they slam on the brakes and the ABS kicks in, the hazard lights start flashing. It looks as though they've left that very much connected on Spencer Lane's car for now. Spencer, though, hanging on quite nicely in the number 17 machine, listed as a privateer, so not running with any of the big Fiesta teams like 2010 and 10 Sport, for example, who've had great success in the ST150s over the years. But a privately run car hanging on very nicely from the SBR Motorsport prepared car behind of Sophie Kinghorn. Sophie had a bit of a rough weekend at Alton Park, but other than that, had a pretty solid season. Yet to find the podium, but running strongly here in a battle for 5th position. So, minute and 40 to go. We're going to have 2 laps remaining at the end of this one, I think, and Dylan Davis is doing everything he can here to keep his title hopes alive, and more than that, by my calculations, might even move into the championship lead based on this result. He still holds the fastest lap, denoted by the little purple stopwatch icon next to his name on the timing tower, and having started from pole position, if he wins the race, it will be 53 points, the maximum points that can be scored. Sorry, 52 points, I should say. Maximum points scored on this first race. In fact, no, I stand corrected. It will be 53 because you get 2 points for fastest lap. My mistake. Oh, we've had the move. Look, just typical, isn't it? As soon as we took our eyes off this battle, suddenly Sophie Kinghorn has found a way past Spencer Lane, but Spencer Lane's having none of it and fights back up the inside through Druid's corner. Sophie, though, again, will stand her ground on the outside. That's the inside line then for Graham Hill Bend, and she does go through Spencer Lane looking for a switchback, but actually hasn't got off the corner quite well enough. So, good move there from Sophie Kinghorn. Didn't see how it started, but she's into 5th position. And now William Box will look to try and find a way through. Forces a defensive move out of Spencer Lane in front. And as they accelerate off the corner, I think they're going to be pretty close together again, aren't they? Yes, look at that, almost nose to tail. Well, they are nose to tail, almost bumper to bumper as they cross the line. And where, if anywhere, can William Box make this move? Goes to the outside line, thinks about cutting back to the inside, but didn't want to take too much of a risk as we begin this final lap of the race. They've still got another race to go later on. Time ticks down to 0, so the checkered flag awaits at the end of this, what's been a fairly interesting first race of the day. A lot of early activity, particularly around the likes of Sam Watkins and George Foxlow as they fought their way up through the order. Since then, the lead gaggle have calmed down slightly. The midfield has been where all of the action has been occurring. Dylan Davis comes across the back marker right when he doesn't want one as they turn into the final turn, but it is going to be a maximum haul of points for Dylan Davis, exactly what he needed to kickstart his final round of the championship. The blue flags are waving for the back marker, but very soon a checkered flag will be waving for Dylan Davis, who crosses the line and wins the first final detail Fiesta ST150 championship race of the day. Sam Watkins second and George Foxlow in the end a fairly distant third, and so the points that are scored, 53 for Davis, 46 for Watkins, and only 42 for George Foxlow, which is not a dropped score, remember. He has had worse finishes than that this year. And so all of those points will count. And by my calculations, or should I say the calculations of my spreadsheet, that means it's now 589 points for Dylan Davis, 587 for George Foxlow, and 580 for Sam Watkins. So we will get that confirmed, just in case I'm missing something, which has been known. But I reckon Dylan Davis might now have a 2-point championship lead heading into the final race of the season. Well, I can't wait for that. That is going to be taking place right at the end of the day. They're bookending the day on the ST150s with this, of course, being the first race of the day, and there'll also be our final race due to kick off at around about, well, in fact, I can tell you precisely when it's supposed to kick off, 18 minutes past 5. do find it quite humorous that the BRSCC have gone to the trouble of such specific timings on their timetable, races starting at 43 or 18 minutes past the hour, and yet we actually ended up starting 25 minutes ahead of time. So keep an eye on the timetable as it develops through the day. We may hopefully be able to start early again after lunch. Right, let's head downstairs. Oh, no, we'll do that in a moment. Results first. Dylan Davis is your race winner, with Sam Watkins and George Foxlow, his title rivals, filling out the other spots on the podium. Michael Blackburn and Sophie Kinghorn complete the top 5. Then it's Spencer Lane, William Box, Robbie Harrison, Alex Sprague and William Kellett to complete the top 10. Daniel Maguire and Aidan Vickers 11th and 12th respectively. And 13th position was Luke Jarman, 14th Simon Ricketts, 15th Mark Webb, with Joseph Ming, Dorothea Bano, Stephanie Saw, unfortunately, all the way down in 18th. Missed that. Not sure what happened to Stephanie. We saw her lose a few positions, but not quite sure why she ended up in 18th. Liam Turnbull was 19th and Neil Marsh the only non-finisher. Right, now we can head down. I was so eager to hear from you, Richard. Let's head downstairs and hear from not only Richard, but also our podium finishers.
So first time down in Parc Fermé for our festival weekend. And Dylan, I tell you what, the driver's looking, as you can probably see, looking fairly cool, calm and collected about it. The cloud cover's going, I'm sure Andy would have mentioned the weather and the cloud coverage which is coming in. So things are a little bit cooler than they were first thing this morning. Dylan Davis just taking his moment to get D-Row. The great thing is this is the one race of the weekend where we get a chance to do a full podium, actually as a couple, because we won't be diving into race 2. We're going to be going into lunch break. There's a full striptease going on at the back with George Foxlow. Dylan Davies takes it's no champagne for Dylan, is it? Well done, Dylan. Let's grab a quick word. We'll get you on roundabout in line with that Barry on the white line. Many congratulations. 3rd win of the season?
Yeah, I think so.
And 3rd fastest lap as well. I don't know if you knew they got the signals for fastest lap. Andy McEwen's doing the sums up in the commentary box, and he reckons things are getting really close now.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it, to be honest. I just add all the points up after the last race. So yeah, I'll just try and enjoy myself for now and just see what happens.
Decent start. Steph was obviously your first target that you had to deal with, and how was that?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, to be fair. The start was a bit bumpy. I was on the inside. I think someone tried going around the outside, which you can't really do around it on the first lap. And then, yeah, after that I was second, and I saw a few spits on the visor, and it started to get a little bit slippy. So, you know, it's always harder for first place in the wet, so I just tried to, you know, get past him then.
You had a couple of little spots of rain on the way. It's kind of threatening a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it always seems a lot worse when you're racing because there's a lot more spits on the windscreen. It throws you off quite a bit, but yeah, it weren't too bad. The lap time stayed the same anyway. It's just the braking into turn 1 got a bit earlier, but that's about it.
It is starting to rain now, isn't it? And no one's going to want to be interviewed out in the outside, are they? In terms of getting away, once you've done that, I mean, relatively straightforward. You've got to focus, which is the difficult part. But also, would you rather be in a race, or are you happy just being away down the road?
Nah, I'd rather be at the front and not have to worry about anything. Yeah.
OK, Dylan, well done, mate. Another race coming up a little bit later on. We'll let you go and have a word with young Josh over there, who's doing the circuit commentary. 2nd position goes to Sam Watkins. Can we get Sam down for a quick word? Come on, Sam. Quicker on track than off. I was just saying, quicker on track than off.
Yes.
Trying to get you down for. We'll get you in front of some branding, and just to remind everyone, BRSCC. A good job there. Dylan was away, but talk us through your race.
Yeah, it went good. Just stay out of the trouble on the first couple of laps. Yeah, just avoid really, and just try and put it in the right place. Bit of opportunity. It's gone well.
Championship-wise, obviously the top 3 drivers in the race are the top 3 in the championship. It's been very interesting to watch it through this year. Even though I haven't been working on it, we've kept a keen eye on it.
Yeah, no, it's been really good. It's good that the sort of comes to the decider and everyone's in the right place. So yeah, it makes it really interesting for the last one.
Fiesta Championship, I mean, I worked on you guys, I think you were in the STs when they were a new car. They're still serving us so well, aren't they, this model?
Yeah, no, it's like a little go-kart, so it's as fun as you can want it to be.
Will you do it again next year?
Yeah, it looks like a good calendar so far, so yeah, we'll give it a go.
The great thing is, with this car, it's great for the experienced drivers, but it's good like for newcomers coming in too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's both ways. It's either fun if you've been doing it for a while, or it's a great way to start when you're new, so yeah, it's really good.
Last thing I was going to just put you on the spot, do you know how the maths work out after that race? We don't, or I don't.
No, I was a pretty big long shot for this one after Silverstone, so I have no idea with me. But yeah, it's more between Dylan and George, so they're still pretty close where they finish. So we'll see how the next one goes.
So you're just enjoying yourself now?
Yeah, I'll stir the pot a little bit between now and then. We'll see how it goes.
Nice one, Sam. Well done. Great to catch up with you on the podium. We'll let you get the spoils of victory over there. I think you ought to get your P2. Next up, we need to talk to George Foxlow. So, George, let's grab a quick word with P3. This was one of the young lads we had a word with in the holding area, and we'll get you down. That was a mighty good start, mate. So, well done for that. Were you happy with the way it went? Obviously, you'd rather be winning, but great progress from grid position.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I could be happier, I suppose. I mean, I could have beat Dylan, but I haven't, so... I think it's just now down to the final race, who gets out in front or whoever comes out on top in between the two of us.
The viewers want a decider, I guess, the excitement of who's going to get it at the end of the day, but you'd rather have had it wrapped up. You did say to me it was a case of reviewing things after race one, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty certain I know now what's going to happen. It's just going to be up to the final race, but who knows, really.
How focused are you? I mean, you got, as we said in car, you know, when we were chatting to you before you went out, you got 2 championships to focus on, so you've now got to presumably think about the 240s and then come back to this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go out, see what happens in that, and come back to this later on, I suppose.
How difficult has it been sort of juggling the two over the car? I know some rounds have been exclusive, but is it difficult when you've got both cars to race on the same weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it can be. I mean, I'm not really too worried or bothered about it, but yeah, it seems to go all right.
Game plan for the other 2 races?
Win.
Straightforward, isn't it? Well done, George. Thanks, mate. Well done. Great podium. George Fox. So we've got one more interview to do before we get into our lunch break kind of walk around. We might even get Esther if she doesn't walk away. Stay where you are. We'll grab you and interview. Mike Blackburn, Masters winner, reigning champion. And I was going to say first interview of the year, but it goes without saying, Mike, because I've not worked on the championship all year. But an absolute pleasure to see you. Obviously reigning champion, multi-champion in this one. Another Masters win, not far away from these guys.
Yeah, I had a pace over 1 lap, so I had a good quali. But no, they just had a couple of tenths on me over the race distance. I need to do a change on the setup. But no, I'm enjoying it. I had a grandstand view of the title battle. But I like to be more in the mix, I think, for the next one, so I'll make a change.
We're used to seeing you in the mix. What was maybe a defining moment for you, championship-wise?
Probably round 1.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had to put my spare engine in, so I was about 1.5 seconds off the pace. I lost an engine pre-season. So the first round, I started P4, got involved in an incident, ended up P17. You're just in the mix when you're not right at the front. So that first round, I think I got 1/4 place out of 3 races. So from then on, I've been on catch-up.
There's a different complexion as we get in, because the final round, some drivers say, I mean, timetable-wise, we can't get 3 in, but it would be nice to have 3, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, in reverse grid. Yeah, mix it up, mix it up. I'm just glad the championship's gone down to the last round, the last race, you know what I mean? I think whoever wins could win the championship between the 3 of them. So yeah, I don't know if it'll be a spoiler or the best seat in the house, I don't know yet. We'll see how it goes to the race 2.
I mean, for our viewers on the stream, you know, you're a reigning overall champion. We always talk about Masters wins as well, and that's the focus for us talking to you now. But overall champion, and it's a great mix, isn't it, of experience and younger drivers coming into this formula.
It keeps me on my toes, because there's always some quick guys coming through. Yeah. You know, they do use it as a stepping stone. I know I've been in it a few years now. But yeah, it works for me. You know, I find it easy. I just get the books out, put the setup on, and off I go. But yeah, the young lads coming through the quick, keep me on my toes, and I'm still enjoying it.
That's good. We're enjoying watching you, Mike. Great to see you. Hopefully we'll have another interview later in the day. Mike Blackburn, our Masters winner, which is good to see. And right, we're into lunch break now, so if you can pretend we've got a little jingle going on, we'll do that. And we'll talk about Fiesta Juniors now. Esther Crook, Championship Coordinator and you do a lot of other work on other things. So before we come to Fiestas, what else are you working on this weekend?
ST240s, and then just general sort of paddock control and working out where people are going, what they're doing, and just making sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible. We run to time or we run ahead. So yeah, that's it.
We're ahead at the moment. Are we going to get going again after lunch quickly, or
Yes, we are. So we're releasing at 13:05. Racing starts at 13:10. So yeah, we will be going early.
That's useful for our stream viewers in case they don't want to hear me waffling to various people. We've got some great guests lined up actually to chat to. Fiesta Juniors is the next thing we come back to, and I think I tried to confuse the Dobles. I didn't try to confuse the Dobles this morning, but drop scores are a pain in the neck, aren't they?
I can neither confirm nor deny that. I don't work them out, quite frankly. I leave that to somebody else. It's like an unknown science that I do my spreadsheet and that's it. So yeah, no, but we'll have to wait and see. It is very, very close. It's going to be incredibly close between Isaac, Thomas and Archie. So the racing is going to be brilliant, and I think I'll be sat in a cupboard with my eyes shut for 15 minutes this afternoon. Let me out when it's finished. Yeah, I think a lot of the parents will as well, won't they? Because we get a lot of, nervous parents, and there are going to be some next weekend because we've got we don't need to plug it because it's sold out, isn't it, the scholarship, which we're all looking forward to. Yeah, we are looking forward to it. So we've got 50 contestants over the 2 days, one of which is here, and it's been lovely to meet them. So they're in the paddock just sort of getting familiar with what goes on and everything else. But yeah, no, it will be a really good couple of days, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's the first event for me of next year because you meet the people that are hopefully going to come into the paddock. And I know the BRSCC offer discounts on entries if they're even at the scholarship, so you're getting money back straight away. Yes, yeah, we do. We give them, I think it's about £1,500 worth of support for their first round, and then if you get through to the last 6, then it's more for the first 3 rounds, if my memory serves me correct, but I am blonde by choice, so, don't quote me. But yeah, no, it will be good. It will be good. So we're really looking forward to it. I get quite excited about it because it does form the grid for next year, and we'll see returning scholarship winners as Lewis come back and compete again, and he will be at the scholarship to help them through and sort of work with them to hold their hands and make sure they're not too nervous. And from drivers coming into Fiesta Junior Racing and motorsport in general, we look at them waving goodbye to them as they fly away, they spread their wings, they leave us, don't they? And the nice part of that is that we've had a real success story with Fiesta Juniors in terms of drivers, from my point of view, going into single-seaters. So obviously Joseph Loke back in the day, Deegan Fairclough, Archie Davis has been testing in F4. I don't think that's been a secret, and it's a really, really strong now. It's not just Ginetta Junior where drivers can go single-seaters, is it? No, it's not, and we've also got the mini challenge route as well, so Jenson O'Neill going, John Cooper works, and Henry Howarth and people like that. So there are lots of routes that they can go. Obviously we'd like them to do the ST240s because we keep them as a customer for sort of another couple of years, and it helps them develop, and some have stepped up, so George Foxlow, Maggie Webster, and they've done incredibly well this year in the ST240s. So yeah, but there are 3 very definite routes that they can go depending on which way they want to go, so we support them in whichever route. And it will be sad, and there will be tears tomorrow. It won't be that bad. No, there'll be tears of joy. As the Dobles know, I cried when Mikey crossed the finish line at Snetterton earlier this year, and I confessed it, and I was like, oh, actually, I've just cried at that. But yeah, it will be fab, and it will be what it will be, so it's anybody's championship tomorrow, so who knows. Emotional attachment is very important to me, and the people, I didn't blog in the week, but put something on Facebook about it's a people business, and if we didn't like the people, we wouldn't be here. No, it's right. People buy from people work with people, and it's just all about that encouragement, and the grids this year have been absolutely fabulous. But that's testament to the juniors themselves, because you watch them in the assembly area, you watch that interaction in Parc Fermé, and they get on so well, and it is a massive family and it's a massive team, and that's what we try and keep. Just hearing through my ear, Andy McEwen saying go and sort the points out. I'll let him do that. That's fair. Esther, thanks for having a chat. Lovely to see you. We'll see you over the week. And sorry for putting you on the spot. Tell Greg Graham it's his turn next. Greg loves a little bit of that. But we're going to have a little bit of Formula Ford chat now, and we'll move over here and we'll have a quick chat with Jeff Page. Jeff, hello. How you doing? Thank you for joining us again. First of all, as far as the BRSCC are concerned, thank you so much for your support of the Super Classic Championship this year, which has been absolutely mega. And you're looking after the pre-82s for us this weekend as well, so thank you again.
Yeah, as usual, it's all down to Alan. He asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes. I just enjoy Formula Ford, as you know. It's part of my story, my history. I last raced Formula Ford in 1982 at Castle Combe in pre-74 in an Eldon Mark 10C. But when it's in your blood, it's in your blood. You can't change it, can you?
I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who's going to win?
I've got no idea. Absolutely. No, not going to say anything. Depends on the weather, doesn't it?
It does a bit, and it's very changeable, isn't it, at the minute? We didn't order this, but, you know, there's always drama, isn't there, at a festival?
Yeah, the weather's going to mix it up, without a doubt, without any shadow of a doubt. So watch this space, I reckon.
How much of the regular season have you enjoyed?
I've been to a number of the Super Classic Championship rounds because, again, we're part of it, and it's just, I just enjoy it. It's just good fun for me, you know. Get to hand out the trophies, which is always good fun, a bit of banter, and yeah, it's part of it.
I think you guys have enjoyed the most streaming actually out of all the club formally this year as well, which when we looked at the schedule, thought, yeah, they've done all right.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's all, that's why we do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
When Formula Ford's in your blood, it's in your blood. It's going to be there until the day we all die.
Formula Ford, do you know what? I was at a toke around earlier in the year, and I used to get, as a kid, you come to Brands Hatch and you get really excited, and there'd be a buzz running up to look at the tarmac for the first time. That kind of ebbs away over the years, as you would expect. But when I see a car on track, I still get excited. Not so much this year, until yesterday. I was in pit lane for testing, and that great big line of Formula Ford 1600s really did it to me. Yeah,
it's always the way, isn't it? Formula Ford, you know, the Kent engine Formula Ford is what Formula Ford's all about. They tried to diversify some years ago. That didn't work very well. Back to Kent engines. Kent engines is Formula Ford. It's traditional. That's how it is. It's always going to be like that.
Mega Formula. Jeff, thank you for having a chat with us. Lovely to see you, and thanks again for your support. Yeah. Am I putting you on the spot if we say you're involved next year?
That is the plan. Yeah, that is the plan.
Nice one. I get told off for hassling sponsors, but we really do appreciate it. Thanks ever so much indeed for your support, Jeff. And we're going to have a quick word with Alan Bowles. Alan, yes, first of all, thank you so much for everything you've done behind the scenes. Absolutely superb job. You know, the paperwork's testament to that for me. Big support for me. And it's your passion that shines through.
Formula Ford, my passion, ever since 1980, and running the history prior to that as well, if you know what I mean. Right the way back to 72 Snetterton, 5 festivals at Snetterton, 4 festivals at Snetterton. Then we came here in 76 for Derek Daly's win. And the Formula Ford Festival has been here ever since. 50th running this year. Going to be a stunning weekend of racing. The times in qualifying this morning were so close it was untrue. Very pleasing that the 10 minutes qualifying worked and no red flags. Everybody behaved. They knew they had to get stuck in and set a time quickly, which they did. Yes, so all good this morning so far.
Yeah, that was absolutely excellent, wasn't it? 76, believe it or not, that was my second meeting coming to Brands Hatch when I was in short trousers. I wasn't in short trousers because it was a wet day, as I remember, but yeah, my second meeting at Brands Hatch and my first festival. I haven't done all of them, but it's lovely to have been at that first one. And are we allowed to say about the surprise for the Kentagon a little bit later on? Yes. So we've got the winner of the first festival joining us.
Derek Daly tonight, yes. Live link from Philadelphia. He's really excited to join us. He couldn't believe it was 50 years since he last won. So, yes, he's really pleased to be joining us. Took a lot of hard work and effort, but we've got there. So, yeah, very happy.
And we're streaming that, so we're looking forward to seeing everybody there. I did put Jeff on the spot. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask who's going to win, because I think that would probably be unfair. But one of the comments that I picked up on yesterday when we were having a coffee, really good point. You said that the festival chooses its own winner.
It does, very much so. You can have the best car here. You could end up with a red flag in your heat. You could end up with a safety car in your heat, and then you don't become the quickest qualifier for the progression. The festival will let you get to the final and be strong in the final, but you get to that stage where the festival chooses its winner, and very rarely is the person everybody expects, if you know what I mean. So it'll be good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
The 4 pole position drivers that we've got 4 Irish lads that have set poles, which was the first thing that struck me this morning. But there's no clear winner indicated in who's on pole, or indeed any of the front 3, 4, 5 positions on any of the heats.
As long as you're starting probably on the first 3 rows, you've got a very good chance. Certainly if this rain that's blowing in at the moment turns into something a little bit more, it's not expected to, so we should be good to go, I think.
Cars are sort of forming up for the first. You brought someone along. Can I have an intro?
Of course you can. This is John Hayden, ex-champion of Brands, winner on numerous occasions. We tried very hard to get John back on our grid this year, but the stars didn't quite align.
John, lovely to meet you.
Hello.
And I've watched you many times over the years when I was a season ticket holder. Go and get your season tickets for Brands Hatch for next year. 100th season, isn't it, at Brands Hatch? We're banding around big numbers.
Big plans.
Tell us about your festival memories.
Well, main memory is I never finished one. And the year everybody thought I had a good chance of winning it, I ended up in hospital. But, but also it contained the best race I ever had. And I still relive that today.
Tell us about those. First of all, get the nasty bit out of the way. What happened with the hospital visit?
Oh, well, it was, I think it was a semi-final, and I was running third behind two guys, and I thought, this is me staying out of trouble. And they looked like they were going to take each other off, so I was comfortable. But Graham Riley, who was a European champion in Swift, was all over me like a bad suit. And I defended well at paddock, and he went round the outside, and I could see the car was going. And I actually said to myself, bye, Graham, and then it bit and came back in front of me. So it was either T-bone him or put it in the barrier. And I crushed a vertebrae in the process, yeah. So
was that a long recovery?
Yeah, well, it was, but I was fit enough to get in the car for the first race of next year, which I won. And then I won the next 4 because then I had to stop because the bank manager. It's a long, boring story, but that's motor racing. So yeah.
Do you come and watch much, or have you just been persuaded to come and?
Abroad. I've been living abroad since 2006. So I get back occasionally and just to see the guys. Yeah, and I was thinking about getting the car out. I wouldn't be competitive now, but just for the sheer hell of it, really. But the logistics got too difficult in the end. Yeah.
Rick Morris might have other words to say to you about that.
I've never raced against Rick, actually. Not to my knowledge, no. But he keeps the flag flying for us oldies, doesn't he? Yeah.
He does. I count myself in that now as well, believe it or not. But it's lovely to meet you. Thanks ever so much for coming along and having a little chat with us and reminiscing. And thank you, Alan, as well. Great. We'll see you a little bit later. And Jeff, thank you very much, Jeff Page. Enjoy the rest of the meeting. We're looking forward to Heat 1. We're going to head up that way now. Also looking for, we were going to have a chat with Andrew Payne, who looks after the Production Cup, because one of the things we haven't spoken about, and very remiss of me not to mention Production Cup on the intro. We've got those guys with us as well. And tomorrow, the Classic and Modern Motorsports Club will be our guest. So not just all Ford product, we've got lots of other racing going on as well, which we are looking forward to. Cars are starting, as you can see, to assemble in the, well, a car at the moment in the assembly area. So we'll go in. I think Andrew Payne's actually heading up as well, so maybe we'll grab a quick word with Andrew before we see the other cars coming in. We've got around about, I think, 15 minutes before they get going. And here he comes now. So yeah, we're ready. Andrew Payne, should we do it here or should we go in the holding? We'll do it here because nobody's there. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
BRSCC, as you can see, official.
Yes.
And the best thing for me to do is ask you. I know, but tell us anyway. What are you up to?
What am I up to? Looking after the DS3 Cup, which has been running with Production Cup this year. It's exciting because we're running it as a championship next year. It's got its own grid, so we're hoping for lots more cars to get on that grid. And also with the Production Cup as well, running with that. So exciting times for next year for me.
With the DS3s, that's kind of a bit of an exclusive, isn't it? Because I think it's been on social media, but proper media, if we can call this proper media, visual media, standalone championship, standalone races are there. So if you're thinking about coming in, don't think anymore, do.
No, yeah, to get on with it. Kits are available from SW Motorsports. We just need to build it up, get as much media out there as we can about it and run the championship. We're hoping to get some test days in, so if people are wanting to test a car, get in touch with me, Andrew Payne, series coordinator, Production Cup, email address is probably best, productioncup@brscc.co.uk. Go through all the regs with your car builds. There's cars out there that are ready to buy now, or you can build your own, and it's really good, affordable motorsport in a really fun car. Everyone that's driven it, and I've had loads of people in it from different series, absolutely love the car. I've done a club sport round in it with somebody, and with Henry Swanson actually, and it's great. It is a really good fun car to be in, so it's worth a go if you're looking for something affordable within our series.
Henry's had some great value out of it because he did that 2-driver race with you, so it's a flexible car, you can use it all sorts of things. And he's won rounds, hasn't he? Won races in the DS3 as part of the Production Cup.
Yeah, he has, because it does fit into it. I know it's like a single series championships. People, with single motor going, oh, I can't put it into anything else, but it fits in with club sport. It fits in with all sorts of race series. So it is a flexible machine, as well as having that close competition of that, best driver sort of ability and setup on the DS3 series in the series championship that make it much more, worthwhile and enjoyable. So yeah, it is. It's going to be close next year because the times have been close this year, and a lot of the people that have been involved all the way through in the DS3 just got quicker and quicker and quicker. And it's been great to see. Like this weekend, we've not got a handful of them out, but the times are close, and the drivers are, are really good, and they're respectful towards each other as well. So it's going to be an entertaining race this afternoon to watch the DS3s that are running in Production Cup.
And sticking with DS3s, a couple of things. You mentioned that you can get a kit, but you presumably get pre-built cars as well.
Yeah, you can. There's quite a few available at the minute that have been built. SW Motorsports have some, Garage 23 have some, Tim Evans. Anybody wanting to, get a car, just contact me and I'll put them in the right direction for buying one. And the really good prices, they're out there for about £10,000, ready built, 10, 11,000. Which makes it a lot more, it's easier than building it yourself. I know some people want to build it, and it can be quite fun building it. But if you're anything like me, I can probably change some brake pads, which I did with the Haynes manual once. But I can't build a race car, so having one race ready, get some out-of-season testing done on track days in it, and then ready for the championship next year. I'm hoping just a lot of people get involved with it and realise it is such good value for money.
It's great, and it's also, in terms of being a story, Theo Longman's won a few this year. I think he's on pole today as well in DS3, and he was one of our scholarship entrants. I was just talking to Esther about scholarship. He entered that, couldn't get the budget to do junior, so he thought, do you know what, I'm going to go senior racing, DS3, so any youngsters that are about to turn 16 for the start of next season, great place for them to look.
It is. 16 is a good thing, so you get your adult race licence. If the junior scholarship's fantastic, 14, 17, but if you're 16, karting, like Henry came from karting, and it is it's an easy, adaptable car to get used to as well. And the great thing for a lot of the younger people is that I've seen it happen where they've got quicker and quicker and quicker, and in the car the more they've got used to it, which is a testament to the car and to their enthusiasm for it. And they all get out, smiley faces on it, and if it wasn't a great car, I know these kids that are racing with me, and they wouldn't be having smiling.
Yes, true. I know teenagers like that as well. Andrew Payne, thank you very much for having a word with us. Have a great weekend. We look forward to watching the racing in the Production Cup a little bit later on. We're going to have a quick break, but please stay with us here at Brands Hatch for the continuation of racing action from the 54th running of the BRSCC Formula Ford Festival. So are you not doing a run-through of the grid?
No, he had to restart computers.
Right, okay. I didn't